but that they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
Yeah, she did. Without question, she saved me.
And I think that's lovely. I would disagree. I think he saved all of us. Right? He ultimately called it and was like, we've got to find a way for us, for Archie. And he made a decision that certainly saved. Clear and real and frightening. Constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled.
Boiled over as TV personality Piers Morgan walked off the set of his morning show. He has a long history of criticizing Meghan.
You continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's
You can trash it, maybe not mine.
No.
I'm being... Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely diabolical behaviour.
Just hours later, it was announced Piers Morgan was leaving the show. It's unclear if he quit or was...
Shade is the word. Piers was really just digging at what we thought was his old friend, Meghan Markle, and her husband, Harry. After they did their interview with Oprah, well, the weatherman, who I now love, because normally you think of weather people as being so nice. You know, I know weather people. I mean, that'd be like Al Roker or Mike Woods or something, cursing someone out. And he didn't curse. He's very well spoken in what he says. And shade is the word.
Sorry.
Do you know what? That's
You can trash it, maybe not mine.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely.
And it went like...
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here on this Thursday, March 11, 2021. Thank you all for watching The Take, as we got some big headline news to cover. But first things first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on the net. And don't forget to subscribe. Call us, tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on The Take as we talk about what's going on in the hub of this week in pop culture and entertainment. Let's get to the big story. The big story this week is, man, what a big story we talk about. On the first for the note, thank you all for watching Viral with the Meghan Harry tell all. But we're going to continue on with that as a continuing story here on the big story as we talk about Meghan and Harry. Man, we talked about it, about they shed more light into that infamous interview they did with Oprah Winfrey, the much highly anticipated interview that they did, where Harry and Meghan said a lot. I mean, they said a lot. They talked about the royal family was worried about Archie's skin color. Man, and they didn't say who said it. They wanted to keep mum about it and talk about Meghan's suicide depression, how she was depressed being in the royal family. And they talk about how Harry is living off his mother inheritance after being cut off from the royal family after wanting to go rogue. Let's get to highlights on what's going on and catch you up on what's the latest with Harry and Meghan. Take a look.
At the time, it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled me.
And what I was seeing was history repeating itself, but more perhaps, or definitely far more dangerous, because then you add race in and you add social media in. And when I'm talking about history repeating itself, I'm talking about my mother. I think she would feel very angry with how this has panned out and very sad. But ultimately, all she'd ever want is for us to be happy. I feel really let down because he's been through something similar.
Your family cut you off?
Yeah. In the first quarter of 2020. I've never blindsided my grandmother. I have too much respect for her. I had 3 conversations with my grandmother and 2 conversations with my father before he stopped taking my calls, and then said, can you put this all in writing, what your plan is?
It was only once we were married and everything started to really worsen that I came to understand that not only was I not being protected, but that they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
Yeah, she did, without question, she saved me.
And I think that's lovely. I would disagree. I think he saved all of us. Right? He ultimately called it and was like, we've got to find a way for us, for Archie. And you made a decision that certainly saved my life.
That's a little bit real, surreal when you think about Prince Harry and Meghan airing their dirty laundry out on the public forum. We know that Oprah Winfrey Productions Hopro had got paid $7 million to do it. So Harry and Meghan, as they say, wasn't paid. But if Oprah interviewing you, you know Oprah had to promise them something. I don't know what Oprah promised them, but you know we had to wait and see. But even more backlash as a very harsh critic of Meghan Markle that used to be a friend of Meghan's, now is a foe. Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan appeared on his morning talk show, Good Morning Britain, and he aired out his grievances on how he truly felt about Meghan Markle and Harry. Take a look.
Boiled over as TV personality Piers Morgan walked off the set of his morning show. He has a long history of criticizing Meghan.
You continue to trash her.
Okay, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's
You can trash him, maybe not mine.
No. I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely diabolical behaviour.
Just hours later, it was announced Piers Morgan was leaving the show. It's unclear if he quit or was pushed out. The British headlines. What have they done? So sad it has come to this. The worst royal crisis in years. Prince William, spotted driving his own car in London, is said to be devastated by his brother's allegations. Questions are being raised about Meghan's claims that their son Archie was denied a princely title because he is biracial.
Concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
It has caused an enormous amount of uproar the world over.
But according to 100-year-old protocol, Archie will become prince one day. So the baby being carried by a pregnant Meghan will be a princess after all.
Piers Morgan not holding back. Even Meghan, what's her name, said this. Yeah, Megyn Kelly had something to say. Everybody had something negative to say about Meghan and Harry telling the truth. If that's what they want to do and they don't want to be mum about it, who are we to judge? You know, peer pressure is out there and people want you to do stuff that beyond your reach and your limits and stuff. Well, someone that was truly brave came on, a weatherman, I don't know, and he told Piers the business with this.
Sorry.
Do you know what? That's
You can trash him, maybe not mine.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you saw right there that weatherman told Piers Morgan the business, and Piers Morgan felt like he couldn't take it no more. He felt like he can dish it, but no, he can't take it, and he walked out. Speaking of that, Piers Morgan has walked out on his morning talk show. He's leaving Good Morning Britain.
Because you're giving permission. So I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in the right to be allowed to have opinions. If people want to believe Meghan Markle, that's entirely their right. I don't believe that anything that comes out of her mouth. I think the damage she's done to the British monarchy and to the Queen at the time when Prince Philip was lying in hospital is enormous and frankly contemptible. So if I have to fall on my sword for expressing a policy that I think about Meghan Markle and that diatribe of bilge that she came out with in the 60s, so yeah, no, it's all very amicable. I think it's challenged to be, and we agreed to disagree.
After those harsh negative comments he made about Meghan and Harry. So Piers Morgan won't be around for a long time, as we see. I'm surprised he had that show way back when he replaced Larry King, and now Piers Morgan trying to rebuild himself after what he had said. It's kind of harsh for him to say that, but like I said, it is what it is. I tell you that right now. Speaking of that, even Queen Elizabeth II released a statement, and she put this quote right here that she's devastated, she's shocked, she really didn't want this to happen. She wished Meghan and Harry and Archie all the same. But the royal family, that's what it's all about sometimes, the royal family. Queen Elizabeth, but Harry and Meghan did say that Queen Elizabeth had nothing to do with it. She wasn't aware. So we can give her that the benefit of the doubt for right now. All right. We continue on the continuing coverage of Harry and Meghan with Talk Shows. On Talk Shows, we talked about Piers Morgan leaving his own morning talk show program, Good Morning Britain. But here in the U.S., our own talk show queen right now is Wendy Williams. She gives her take on why Piers was rude, unprofessional, and showed less behavior with his conduct. Take a look.
Shade is the word. Piers was really just digging at what we thought was his old friend, Meghan Markle, and her husband, Harry. After they did their interview with Oprah, well, the weatherman, who I now love, because normally you think of weather people as being so nice. I know weather people. I mean, that'd be like Al Roker or Mike Woods or something, cursing someone out. And he didn't curse. He's very well spoken in what he says. And shade is the word.
Right there, Wendy Williams siding with the dude who's the weatherman who told Piers the business and shading him, and Piers walked out. We talked about that on Big Story, but the weatherman showed more compassion for Meghan than Piers and talked about the light skin that was questioned about Archie's skin color, about whether Archie was going to be black or white. It doesn't matter. As long as he comes out happy and healthy, baby, that's all that matters. And whoever worry about that, they really need to reevaluate themselves and reevaluate everything they're saying in their own, sick, twisted way. And I'm not hoping that it's not Charles or William. I'm thinking it's Charles. But I tell you, if you doubt that about his grandson, he really is sick. He did a lot of other things with Diana and stuff, being, stepping out of that marriage, having an affair. So you think, him with his grandson is kind of wrong. But how that go. Meanwhile, the women of The View took a deep dive in Meghan's revealed during the interview about Meghan Markle, saying she had suicide thoughts. She didn't want to be in the royal mall after was in the royal family. She felt the need to want someone she was trying to speak and nobody wanted to hear her. Let's look what the women of The View gave their views and opinions on it.
Things at one point. Joy, I missed getting back to you. What is it you wanted to say?
Well, no, I was just going to comment on the mental illness part. First of all, it's very serious, as Sarah said before. When anybody says anything about suicide, they immediately have to go to see a doctor. But I have been in therapy many years myself. It's not like I come from a family that says, "Hey, my daughter's in therapy. Isn't it a great thing?" Okay, but I did not have a family that would vilify me and tell me I was crazy either. So I did it, and I got better. We're talking about a family whose motto is keep calm and carry on and don't go to therapy, and a stiff upper lip. Mm-hmm. So the girl was in trouble. She was in trouble, and there was nobody to really guide her or help her, and that is a sad thing. That's
you giving their views and opinions on that matter and saying that Meghan is not the only one, and she's really not. It's everybody who's trying to, find that voice. But, if you or anybody that thinking suicide thoughts, talk to a family friend, talk to somebody you're confident with that's going to talk you out of it, talk to you about the positive things, not the negatives. And I know in this world, we live in a negative, mean, mad world. and some cruel people, because inside they're hurting and they don't know how to turn that hurt into positive. So, you know, it is what it is on that. News this week. But we can talk about in other news that in the felony trial, attorneys on the George Floyd murder trial begins with this.
It begins the murder trial in the death of George Floyd.
Juror number 1, we're going to have you come right up here.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin could be seen in the Minneapolis courtroom wearing a gray suit, taking notes as potential jurors are questioned.
With respect to Black Lives Matter, you indicated that you viewed that organization in a somewhat favorable light. And with respect to Blue Lives Matter, you indicated that it was somewhat unfavorable, in your opinion.
I support the message that every life should matter equally.
The public will be able to watch gavel-to-gavel coverage. The judge has allowed the trial to be live streamed, a first in the state's history. No video of the jurors was permitted. Plexiglass in the jury box had to be moved because you could see the reflection of the potential jurors.
I looked and I could see vague outlines. I'm not concerned too much, except I have emailed the court administrator to have somebody up here over the lunch hour to remove the plexiglass.
Juror number 2 acknowledged that he and his fiancée actually went to the location where Floyd's life came to an end.
It happened in my city. It was a transformative event for that area.
So how do you pick an impartial jury in a case that has changed America? We spoke with famed jury consultant Jo Ellen Demetrius, who says it will be a challenge to select open-minded jurors.
It is going to be extremely difficult to find a jury in this case that hasn't heard or seen the video.
What kind of pressure will there be on these jurors no matter how they vote?
There will be tremendous pressure on each one of these jurors, no matter how the deliberations come back.
A barbed wire fence now surrounds the building. Are you worried for the safety of these jurors?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I am.
So right there, the man who put his knee on the neck of George Floyd, David Chapman, face court charges this week in the jury selection process. Ain't no question about it. The man did it. So he put his feet on it, added pressure to the man, and that caused worldwide outrage, and rightfully so. So he gonna get what's coming to him. You can see right here his head receding. You can't even believe it. Woo, God. I'll tell you that right now. All right. We'll be back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is the Take here on Connect. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you're here to join us on Take on this Thursday, March 11th, 2021. But don't forget to subscribe and scan. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button for you won't miss a thing here on the Take. And like I said on the Take, we are using the hashtag Take here on Connect. We are the hub of pop culture and entertainment and pop culture. All right. We, like I said, going to shift focus from the Harry and Meghan situation. We're going to shift focus to on the political rundown this week. On the political rundown this week, mounting pressure to get COVID stimulus bills out there to the struggling Americans that are facing that. The House and the Senate passed the $1.9 trillion stimulus bill. Say to this, let's get more info on what's going on.
The U.S. Congress on Wednesday passed one of the largest economic stimulus packages in U.S. history, a sweeping $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill that gives President Joe Biden his first major legislative win.
This bill represents a historic victory for the American people.
The House of Representatives gave final approval to the measure, which provides direct payments of $1,400 to most Americans, $350 billion in aid to state and local governments, and increased funding for vaccine distribution. Approval in the Democratic-controlled House came after weeks of partisan debate and wrangling in Congress. Although many Republicans supported coronavirus relief under former President Donald Trump, not a single Republican lawmaker voted for the bill in the House or Senate. Democrats see the legislation as a critical response to a pandemic that has killed more than 528,000 people in the country and thrown millions out of work.
It will put money in Americans' pockets. It will put children back in classrooms. It will put millions of Americans back to work and reopen businesses safely.
Republicans said the measure was too costly and packed with wasteful progressive priorities.
This is nothing more than a trashy spending spree while doing nothing for those who have suffered the most from this China virus.
Nevertheless, Republican-leaning states are due to get a disproportionate share of many of its benefits, including education and child care aid per resident, according to estimates from 2 congressional committees. And it's popular with the public. A Reuters Ipsos poll showed that 70% of Americans support the plan. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Biden plans to sign the bill Friday and that he, Vice President Kamala Harris, and First Lady Jill Biden would hit the road to promote it to Americans.
Right there, the COVID relief bill. It's going to be the last bill from this COVID era. Like I said, this is the relief that people need and want to get themselves back on their feet and make ends meet, the struggling Americans and stuff. But we hopefully things get back in order and we'll see what's going on from there. Like I said, America is back in business one way or another. We're going to come back stronger than ever. I'll tell you that right now. All right. On the reality show clip down this week. All right, The Bachelor. On The Bachelor, Matt James decides to break up with Bree. Take a look.
I'm sorry. Not that I was looking for some justification for this, but there wasn't something that came up this week, and that's what makes it so hard. It would have been easiest. I could point to one thing and say that that's why. It's just a feeling that you have when you're with somebody, and it's nothing to do with you and who you are and how incredible you are, and everything to do with what my heart's leading me.
He may not. Wow, it didn't take so long, him breaking up with Bree. Mac James knew that she wasn't the one, so hey, it is what it is. So hey, know that go. But speaking of Matt takes Michelle to a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch spa to have R&R. Take a look.
What goes into your life and being a teacher and all the stress and personalities you have to balance. And I thought to myself, what better way and who more deserving of a spa day than this is going to be a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch spa day.
Okay, that made me nervous.
To be honest with you, I have no idea what a Pennsylvania Dutch spa day is, but I'm excited that I'm going to be doing it with you.
As long as it's with you, I think we can handle it.
I'm optimistic.
I hope so too.
It does not matter what I'm doing with Matt. I just want to be with him. This week is so important. This is the week where we're able to take the next step in our relationship. We're getting down to that engagement, and so this is the biggest date I've ever been on, and I'm ready to get even closer to Matt today, with whatever that means we're doing. Wow. What is this? Is that milk?
I have no idea.
Are you going to taste it?
I'm not tasting it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, wait, what is this?
I have no idea. This is weird. There's a bear in the corner, a container, looks like oatmeal, a massive tub full of this. See this? American Dutch experience. We're just enjoying each other's company. That's what I love about Michelle. She can make anything fun, and she's not afraid to laugh at herself. This is really good for your skin.
I smell like a sugar cookie.
Melt the butter down, apply the butter. Oh yeah, there it is.
That's just like the release of the stress. I made sure to cover all of Matt's surfaces. How do you not grow closer after smearing butter over somebody? I really feel like Matt is my person. We can be sitting in a milk bath covered in butter and it feels comfortable. Like it feels like home.
So Matt James is, him and his date, all lubed up with butter and had their feet on butter. What's next? Let me guess. I already know. It's easy now to penetrate stuff with the butter and stuff. That's what next. Matt got her oiled up with butter. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. All right. Speaking of that, on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, during the therapy session, Kenya opens up about her mom and her difficult past. Take a look.
Displaying in our adult life is from stuff that we haven't resolved from 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, right?
Yeah.
If your mom were in here, what did you need? What would you say about her not being there for you?
It's beyond not being there. It's the treatment. It's the treating me like I was invisible. My whole family sat back and watched my own mother be cruel to me, and I wasn't protected.
Nobody was there to rescue you, to keep you safe. What did you have to end up doing to keep you protected since nobody showed up for you?
I got into trouble all the time, and I fought all the time, and I just started skipping school, and I dated a man that was 11 years older than me at 15, and he was physically abusive.
Wow, Kenya, taking a toll on Kenya Moore, on everything. She thought she was going to be able to, mend the relationship with her mom and keep her happily married. But, Kenya got to realize you can't force people to get with you. They just don't want to be with you. Just period. It is what it is. And that's what Kenya tries to do. She tried to do, but more than so. Speaking of Kenya tries to patch things up with Drew Sidor and talk through their issues, but Kenya has this to say.
Was when I was asking about your daughter. Like, how do we jump from it's not that to a final straw? You gotta let me finish. Well, I'm curious. This is weird. I let you talk, right? And so if I could have brought my daughter, I was just like, why didn't you tell me, or give me a heads up? Like, as I'm trying to open up and get to know you, I was asking about your husband and your marriage. And I felt like it was this guard up. No, I can't say these things.
That's not true.
So I was just my husband. I did open up to you about
that's what
it.
I'm saying. But you're not letting me
something that we cannot even speak about. Okay, so I don't know how to address you. Drew, why the hell are you singing? You took that somehow to mean I was not being open with you or whatever because you asked me about one isolated thing that I could not talk about. Then, I don't know what else to say because to me it's a reach.
I don't think getting clarity is a reach. I think clarity is clarity.
Yeah, Kenya Moore has a lot to say. Drew Sidor even one up Kenya, and Drew Sidor might be the next person who might take over the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. Watch out, Kenya. Watch out, Candy. I'm telling you, watch out. Watch out. I'm telling you right now. Also, in newses, cancel culture hits Disney with racial overtones that they deem not fit. Take a look.
Has blocked young children from watching movies with racial connotations.
Children aged 7 and under will be banned from watching favourite classics such as Peter Pan, Dumbo, and The Aristocrats. The 3 movies have been accused of breaching content advisories for scenes of racial profiling. The movies will not appear in the kids section of the app. Some parents have criticised the move. Disney says it's committed to creating stories with inspirational themes reflecting human diversity.
Yeah, you saw right there. Cancel culture removes Dumbo, Peter Pan, and other films of the Disney Plus. I mean, they got rid of Dr. Seuss. They got rid of. They're trying to get rid of these songs, these love songs. And it's a different era, different time. Just keep it. Just put a disclaimer on and say this happened such and such during this time. This is well. As long as I ain't getting canceled, that's all that matters. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. This amazing athletic family, this amazing athletic black family, showcase dream work and make the team work with this.
And it went like.
Yes, did you see that? All them acrobatics, them standing like it was Circus Olay or the Soul Circus. You got to wonder. That takes a lot of gift and strength and talent and grit. So hey, it is what it is. But amazing from that talented, athletic black family. Amazing. I'm telling you. Yeah, that was amazing. That was a viral video of the week right there. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of The Tape. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and we'll see you next time for another edition of The Tape. See you later.